So remember a couple videos ago we announced that we were doing a giveaway. We still are. However, we have changed up our rules just a little bit to make sure we are complying with YouTube's giveaway policy. So, the only thing that you have to do in order to qualify is to make sure that you are in one of the places we are looking. We will be choosing people from our Facebook community, our subscriber list, and our YouTube comment section. So, as long as you are in one of those places, you qualify for the gifting. We will be giving away T-shirts, candles, journals, and a $100 gift card. We look forward to gifting you and thank you for being a part of our Flourish family. And let's get into the video. Welcome to Flourish. I am so excited to be able to bring you a platform that is dedicated to equipping you for impact. Welcome back, guys, to part 2 with Jayda. Today, we are going to be continuing a conversation from last week about commanding your peace. And we're going to bring some other elements into it around purpose and walking in power on a day-to-day basis, and how it is that Jayda has implemented these peace principles in order to walk in her purpose in her day-to-day life and help you guys to walk into your purpose as well. So welcome back, Jayda.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Okay, so my first question is around purpose and how do, as women, how do we find our purpose?
I feel like your purpose finds you more so than anything. And so being present is really important, because when you're present, you identify so much. For me, I thought food was my purpose. I thought being a chef was my purpose. I thought, after Katrina happened and I went to Atlanta and I was getting invited to all these different places to cook and bring food, that was my purpose then. But, through just being present and awakening, you look at it and you're like, wait, no, food was the passion that opened the door to my purpose. And so that's really important in just paying attention to things, because you can go about life every day doing something that you think that you're supposed to be doing, but in the result, it shows up different. I mean, I have been blessed to travel the world thinking that I was traveling as a hospitality person because of my food, because I originally started, cooking for celebrity clients in Atlanta. And that turned into me traveling as a hospitality coordinator. Well, I wasn't even cooking anymore, but I thought, because I'm here, still involved with food, still involved with making sure that everything is okay, that I was on my purpose. But no, I remember having a production assistant at a show in New York, and she was like the production assistant for our group. And she was like, again, I'm hospitality. And there was another production assistant from our group. And so we were all in the same group because of just me having to know how everything flows to make sure that everything is on schedule. And so they could not see eye to eye at all. And so the lady was like, I only want to deal with you. I'm like, that's not my job. But, stepping into that because of you think you're there for this thing, but no, you brought peace to the situation. And so everybody was able to win. People don't understand, like, you're being in peace where you have to be. Yeah. You can add so much to an element. And, here I'm one person and we were a 40 team staff. And then you have the venue that has their staff, but one person can disrupt something. And so being able to come in and be that and realizing, oh, wait, that was my purpose, then didn't even realize. I want to share one story that really, again, when you identify your purpose and how sometimes you have to you have to be obedient to the nudges. I never forget, we were in UK, one of my favorite places, Bournemouth, UK is so beautiful. It's not big, but it's like one of the most beautiful places in the world. And they have this amazing beach. And so had already taken about 2 weeks, 2 walks on the beach. And they will always say, there's one crew that I work with a lot, I don't care where we go, there's the beach, Jayda's gonna find time to get to the beach. And so this particular time, I was like, feel like I was walking around asking somebody, you want to walk on the beach with me? You want to ride a bike? Like I was asking, because normally I would go by myself. Mm-hmm. And this particular time, I asked one of the guys, he was a tech, if he wanted to go on a walk. And he was just like, he looked at me. And so he was like, I'll get back with you. I might take you up on that offer. And sure enough, I'm sitting there getting ready to, like, I'm comfortable. I'm looking around, getting ready to go for a walk. And he comes back and says, I'm going to take you up on that offer. So we go on the beach, we talking. And as we're walking and talking, he just asked me about something about me. I don't know. And I went to sharing with him, the stuff that I've been through, the book that I wrote. Yeah. And I was like, no, but let me talk about you. And he looked at me. He was like, here I am, a rich white kid, complaining and frustrated over something that I had no idea that I was complaining over. You don't know how you just changed my life, to the cycle and how you've been up and down the roller coaster, but you always gravitate towards something. The one thing that people will call you for. People come in, oh, I have an idea. I have a question. Just tell me something. What are your thoughts? Yeah, that's my purpose, and I didn't even realize it. Yes. Some people don't even have the patience for that. Like, don't call me. And I've seen people, don't call me with your problems. I don't want to hear it. But having that and people calling. And I used to think, again, too, another key thing in your purpose is knowing, is when you identify your purpose, you be grateful for everything. Because I used to be like, oh, they just dumping on me or whatever. Now I know I'm so grateful for when they dump on me, because I'm living up to my purpose that God has me here for. I don't care. They don't ever call me back again and tell me to dump again. That's my purpose. And so me knowing that, it, again, commanding my mornings. So when they call to dump, I have the strength for it. I'm prepared for it. But when you're operating out of your purpose, you will be so frustrated because you're not realizing that's what you're called to do. And I have to say this, we talked about this in this help to my man. He was like, he'll have these situations where people come and they either mimic what he's doing or go and start what he's doing. And we had to continue see the flow, and the Holy Spirit was, let me know to nudge him and let him know that's what you're created to do. You are created to do that. Like, they mimicking you because you're supposed to be a teacher in that area. You're supposed to do that. And so when you know that, you're not agitated, you don't feel the kind of way, because oh, well, come on, copy over me. Like, okay, now you can go and create a platform. You can create a school for this. You can create something where you're getting financially compensated for what you're created to do, and you're not feeling a certain way. And then you can go, because he loves to go to prisons and speak to prisons. You can take that part of your ministry and go and share it, and they come out of prison looking just like you. It doesn't matter, because that's what you're created to do. So when you identify that, what you've been doing and how things, and for his is what other people have been doing, copying. So that allowed him to see his purpose.
Yeah. That's so helpful, because a lot of times, like you said, purpose finds you. A lot of times we are looking in the wrong spaces and places for purpose. Yeah. We want our purpose to look like this person or that person. But what I see, that you're talking about is your purpose is given to you. You don't pick it. It's you don't choose it. You are gifted for a specific thing. So I want to talk about life coaching specifically, because I want to talk about a few points, how life coaching can benefit people, and then also how life coaching is different from therapy. Do you need both? Can you pick one or the other? And what your thoughts are on that?
Definitely, you can do both. I have a client right now that I recommend for both, because it's some things that's deeper in the surface that need to be pulled out, because I feel that people who come to me, they've done some work. And so psychiatrists, it could be Christian psychiatry or secular, it doesn't matter, that you really do some deep stuff and you have these private moments. Life coaching, like one day I was telling a client, like, people walking behind and we're still engaging, but you're not going to give me everything, because especially if you haven't done the work, you still have to go through a process. And it comes to that. So life coaching, again, I feel like it's a trusted friend, a friend that you can trust, someone that you don't have to worry about taking your stories or taking things away, and the world knows it. And again, being in things, not even realizing that you're in it. I have people who have done me so dirty, who have just treated me like crap, and I didn't understand why, and I was hurt and I was frustrated. But through my hurt and my frustrations, I never shared their darkest secrets. I never shared these things that I knew. So it was like God was already aligning me to see if this is really going to be your calling. Like, are you going to be able to step into your calling with these little small tests? Having that that partner, that person who making sure that you're on goal, making sure that you're doing the work, giving you a sounding board to just come and talk,
Yes.
and knowing that you're okay. You're not going to be judged away, because I know in this relationship you have a need, and I'm here to help you get that need. For me, the reason why I let you know up front that I'm a peace practitioner is because if we can't attach peace to the plan, I'm not the one for you. For me, we have to have that involved. Peace has to be a part of the plan.
Yes. One of the differences I saw, because I'm active in therapy, I go to therapy. One of the differences I saw, I actually, in the class that I took of yours, I discussed the same situation with my therapist and then also with you. And the difference in your answers was my therapist really focused on the root and the underlying cause of why do you feel that way? Why did you take it that way? What is this connected to in your past? And what is this connected to in your mindset? Whereas when I took your class, yours was more about activation for the future. When I asked you the same question, it was like, okay, yes, you felt that way in that moment, but let's talk about how we can change that in the future. Let's activate you and let's get you to that next level. So it kind of helped me. What therapy helps you to do is kind of resolve the things from your past.
Yeah.
One of the things that I see that you do is you help to activate me for my future. Life coaches are those people that are like, okay, now that we've laid a solid foundation, let's start to build.
And that's what I said. A lot of my clients, they've done some work, or they've done the work.
Yes,
And
yes.
so here we take that and we build and we move forward. I'm very future forward. The reason why I'm future forward is not like I'm looking into the future or rushing to the future, but I know that those are the glory channels, like to give glory. I'm very big on giving glory here. I'm very big on doing the work that God's called me to do while I'm here, and not getting in the way of that. And so building helps us to get to that. And that's such a I didn't even know that, but thank you for sharing that, because again, I do feel that if you have to go to a therapist, please go. Especially in our culture, oh, you shouldn't do that. No, you go when you best. It's very helpful. It's very helpful.
And you can never have, my sister, we laugh about this, but we talk about, a team. You can never have, when it comes to your health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, your physical health, you can never have too many people on your team helping and walking alongside you. And so it's so important, as many people as you can bring on board that you can afford, do it. I want to talk about friendship and your friend circle and those who you have around you. What advice and thoughts do you have around those close friends, confidants, and people? How do you coach people to order their lives in a way where the people around them are supporting them in their future and where it is that they're going?
The biggest thing for me is, one, that connection with God, because that's your friend. That's your biggest friend, and that's the only person that you have to answer to. And so when you do that, I think you get so comfortable in knowing and saying, if you don't agree or respect my values, you have to go, and that's okay. You can have friendships from childhood. You can have new friendships. I've never thought love, when they say that no new friends, I don't believe in that. You can go out tomorrow and find your best friend. I have a best friend right now. He's 92 now. We met in Newport Airport. Again, I'm always talking to people. And she was traveling with her husband and her friend and her husband. and I had a purse on, a Jaguar bag, and she just was gravitated toward this bag. She was like, my granddaughter probably would love that bag. And I said, oh, well, your granddaughter can have it, but it was the only bag I had. So she's like, well, if I give you my address, you can send it to me. She gave me her address. I made it back to Atlanta. I mailed her the bag. And she starts after that to write me the most beautiful letters. And she became just writing me these pen pal letters. I went through seeing her friend's husband died first, and then her husband passed away. And then from there, her friend got dementia, got sick, and remember who she was. And we talked, the last time we talked, she was like really like mad. She was mad that everybody was taken away from her. She wished she had died first. And that was such a light bulb moment for me on friendships, to not get that attached to friendships, because people come and go, and being comfortable with yourself so that you can embrace them and enjoy them. But if they leave tomorrow, if their spirit says to you today that you're no longer my friend, you have to be okay with that. Having that feeling with myself and comfortness with myself, to know that I can be who I am with or without a friend. And that allows me to create boundaries, to say, listen, these are my practices. This is how I am. And guess what? They're going to understand it. They're going to know once you draw that line in the sand, because I come from the hood, first of all. So I come from the hood, but I am the girl walking in the sand barefoot, walking in the grass barefoot, taking pictures of a tree and a bird. People like, oh, look at this. Look. And they'll respect it. I have one friend, is street to the street to the street. But every so often, he will send me a picture or tag me under something that's like, and this morning he did it, and I just made me think about that, of like, it must be like up north somewhere, but it was like the pretty leaves and the leaves reflecting on the lake. And he was like, another one, whenever he sees something like that, he thinks about me. And so when you operating who you are, people have they don't have no choice but to start understanding that's who you are. My grandmother, yesterday, this is no lie, walked up yesterday, she wanted to show me. Show it to me. Then it's a heart. It's almost a heart. It's red. You got a red shirt on too. I walked up, she said, I've been holding this flower to show you I found this flower because I love red. Red is my favorite color. So they start to know, people start to see things. And I was like, all right, grandma, I got you picking up leaves.
I love that. I love that so much, because what it brings me to the mindset is, when you're protecting your peace, you're commanding that environment to serve you. Instead of hopping into everyone else's orbit and what everyone else has going on, you're bringing them into you, and you're bringing them into who you are. So what else do you want us to know in closing? Closing thoughts, important things you want to leave us with?
The most important thing that I want you to leave with is, if you don't have a ritual or something in order to command your mornings, please create one. Commanding your mornings is the most important thing that you could ever do in your life. And they need to figure out what are the toxic energies that's coming, swooping them in, what practices that they're involved in, that it could be self-sabotage or sabotage from others that they need to identify. It could be so many different things, but it's so important to tackle those things so that you can walk in your purpose with peace. And so that is the most important thing that I can share. Also, join the Commanding My Peace movement. When I created the website, I was like back and forth, commanding your peace, this, that. No, I want people to say it, commanding my peace. I want them to see it, because words have power. So if you're going to Instagram, if you're going to Facebook or the website, and you're typing in commanding my peace, whether you're saying you know it or not, you're subconsciously telling your soul that you are commanding your peace. And so come. The more you say it, the more that you'll get it. Greater is in you than anything that you face, because you're going to be tried and tried and tried. I don't know when this is airing, but especially during this election season, it is so dark out there in the world. You got to remember to keep your light on. What it was, Motel 6, Motel 8 used to say we always keep light on for you.
Yes, yes.
You gotta remember that you are a hotel. You are a place of peace. Keep your light on because it's dark out there. So they're gonna have people looking for you for a place of refuge. Like once I take my candle and light your candle, that means that you're gonna go out into the world and light someone else's candle.
Thank you so much, Jayda. It's been
you.
such a wonderful conversation. So grateful for you coming and sharing your heart with us and your time with us, and just continue to do what you're doing. You guys, all of Jayda's information is going to be in the description box for you guys to be able to command your peace even further. Thank you, Jayda.
Thank you.